ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुर्वे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna. Sorry, I still have a lot of flu, so my throat is not so well. I hope you can understand me. Also, before we start the class, well done everyone for NOI exam. Wonderful, wonderful results. I don't remember the toppers on top of my head. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, you have that list or not with you?
I have it
Somewhere. I also have it
in front
somewhere.
of me. I
Okay.
can I can bring it up if you like, but you,
Uh, if you could quickly, Prabhu, just with you.
yes, bro.
So I would literally like to congratulate all of you and specifically to few devotees who have literally achieved 98+% marks. Um, where is Rasanand Prabhuji? Rasanand Prabhuji, Gopal Prabhu is here. He again is one of the best performers in the whole exam. And I also remember Divya Kirtan Mataji, she has done the best in assignment. That was very nice.
Sent it to you as well, Prabhu. So you
No, I
don't.
have it, Prabhuji, it's just not on my screen.
Okay, sure.
So I definitely have it. And who else is there, Prabhuji, in the third last list?
So
The
Prabhu,
top
close book
three.
is Rasanan Prabhu.
Close book is Rasanand Prabhu, yes.
Assignment is Divya
Divya Kirtan Mataji,
and overall is again Rasanan Prabhu.
Rasanand Prabhu. So Rasanand Prabhu, two areas, top. No doubt, he is very, very, yeah, scholarly as well as very mature. So his writings are very good. Also, Akhand Rasa Prabhu and Ujjwal Rasa Mataji's assignments, I have to say, very, very good because they have literally put essays even for short questions. And Akhand Rasa Prabhu specifically have done more questions than what was given. So I have done Bhakti Shastri probably 10 years ago. So he asked me for those assignments. He did this assignment plus those assignments. He said, I just want to, want to do more and more. So thank you, Akhand Rasa Prabhu, for so much dedication. Here I'm finding it hard for devotees even to do the normal assignment. So Prabhu has so much enthusiasm. So thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice. So this is a lost module for the devotees basically started almost 3 years ago. So hopefully the same enthusiasm will continue. And we can do NOD with the same interest. And also just one good feedback, which I got from few devotees that they loved NOI. Now they know NOI by heart. They know all the verses and their themes, which is very, very nice. So we'll try to do the similar thing for NOD. Usually, devotees don't read NOD so much, although we have some devotees like Ganesham Prabhu. He started Krishna consciousness journey with NOD. So he literally went the first book which really devotees read. So try to make some notes and we'll try to learn NOD as best as possible in this limited amount of time, which will be around 3 to 4 months, and see how you go. And hopefully at the end of the this module, you should also make the similar statement for NOD. I love NOD. So then it's a success, because success is not in the exam marks, which is just one part of it, but it's understanding the book of our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada commentaries. So let's start. Now, before I get inside Nectar of Devotion, just talk few facts about Nectar of Devotion, then we'll get inside as per Prabhupada preface and introduction. Now, before one more question, who has read NOD here? Please raise your hand. And okay, so Charu Mataji raising hand. Anyone else? So okay, so Sakhi Radhika Mata, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu. Anyone else? Okay, Aman Mohan Prabhu as well. Okay, so
Bhakti Vijay
uh,
Mataji as well. She raised the
Partly.
yeah, Mataji. Okay, thank you, Mata. She was a little blurry. And Akhand Rasa Prabhu as well. Okay, so it's quite a few devotees, Rasanand Prabhu as well. Now, if you haven't done it, for the others, I'm saying, if you have done it, wonderful, do it again. If you haven't done it, we are getting this December holidays. Please make sure you have read first 19 chapters, page to page. You understand or don't? That's not a big criteria, but please read through. It's a relatively small book. It's not a very big book. But if you have read Prabhupada purport, then you come to the classes, it will be much more beneficial, which is a recommendation from every class. But NOD being such a book which devotees don't usually read. Bhagavad Gita, like usually devotees read. So when they come to the class, they have some context. So if you have read NOD beforehand, especially coming to the classes, it will be very helpful. So I highly recommend everyone to please read through at least first 19 chapters, which is a course for Bhakti Shastri. So if you haven't done it, please start today and read. Because by reading, then your understanding will be much deeper. Otherwise, many things you may not grasp it fully, which is not very nice. Okay, so everyone can see my screen? Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, as I always do, setting the mood. And one of my favorite speaker is His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. So we'll just read his quote. This is the third time I'm reading, so don't think it's a repetition. Yes, I'm putting it again and again because I love this, because that sets up the mood why we are doing what we are doing. So anyone would like to read? I would say Giriraj Prabhuji, would you like to read this quote of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj?
Sure, Prabhu. We must cultivate philosophical knowledge in order to have a proper understanding by which we can proceed without being bewildered by the temptations of the world. To learn simply for the sake of accumulating knowledge is one of the greatest obstacles to spiritual advancement. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So this is our motto, just a one-liner by Maharaj is very powerful. So we are not reading just for the sake of accumulating knowledge or impressing others in our classes or other conversations. We are reading these books so that we can come closer to Krishna. We can love Krishna better. Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj said in one class, he said, we probably all know Krishna is very great, but we don't know how great he is. If we know the greatness of Krishna, we have no other option except to love him. So through these books, we are trying to learn the greatness of Krishna so that we can love Krishna. So that's the whole purpose. There's no other purpose. This again by Maharaj. We'll quickly read. Surupni Mataji, if you want to read, say half of it.
Spiritual advancement is not just about getting knowledge or even understanding. It is for getting mercy by which our desires get attracted to Krishna. If we just have an intellectual conception of spiritual life, wherein we think that once we know and understand, there is knowing when the knowledge entered through the ears. There is understanding when the knowledge entered through the brain.
I'll just stop here, Mataji, just for 1 second. So the first two steps are quite clear. When we hear, and many times we hear passively, we are doing other work and we are hearing. That's okay. That's still purifying. Sometimes the things go in the brain. Oh, that's a very nice point. We make a note of it and we repeat in the class as well. We say it, but we don't understand it. But Maharaj is saying the first two are very easy and we should do that first two as well. But the purpose is the third one. Yes, Mataji.
But there is realization when Krishna enters through the heart.
Just I'll stop here. Anyone knows the definition of realization? What's the definition? So brain is covered, ears are covered, and Maharaj is saying it should sink into the heart. So what does it mean actually? Anyone has any ideas? It doesn't have to be, some philosophical line. It can be very simple. What does realization mean? It sinks in the
Practical
heart. What does it mean?
understanding. My understanding is when we get the knowledge, then we apply it, and then whatever understanding from deep within the heart comes, that's realization.
Yep, that's good. Yep. Something
Prabhuji,
else?
when we get convinced that whatever knowledge we are gaining, when we are convinced, when our heart is convinced and we want to apply it,
We want
that's
to apply it. Mujalo Samada says we are applying it. Yep, that's good. Good direction. I'll simplify it. Very, very simple. The second step is going through the brain. Brain means we have understood. We understood the word. Smoking is injurious to health. We understood that, huh? But the third step, which Ujjwala Mataji or Satyavama Mataji said, we are trying to apply or we are applying it. It's definitely. Radhanath Maharaj again speaks about it, and he says very clearly, when we harmonize our intellect with the mind. Intellect means is our brain. So in brain, we understand smoking cigarette is bad, for example. We understand that. There's no doubt about it, right? So first is in the ear, in the brain, and the third is harmonize. But our mind still says many times, no, this movie is very good. This sense gratification is very good. Although in the intellect we understand, but our mind takes over. So when our mind and intellect is harmonized means is in one line. Intellect says it's definitely good. Krishna Bhakti is good. Sense gratification is bad. And our mind also accepts it. Because many times intellect knows, but mind overrules because intellect is weak. Mind is very, very strong. Chanchalam himana Krishna paramathi balbhadraham. So Maharaj said, if our intellect, which is our intellectual understanding, harmonizes with our mind, then it's called realization. So what we are trying to do, intellect, many of us are very, very intellectuals. And just one quotation. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, when he gives classes, he speaks more Sanskrit than English or Hindi. It's a lot of intellect. No, he has realizations as well. But I'm saying, so many of us may be given this intellect by Krishna, which is nice. But through the intellect, we cannot go back to Krishna. So we have to harmonize our intellect with our mind. That's called realization. That means it's completely sunk in our heart. And then Keshav Maharaj was saying, with that realization, when we speak with others, it touches their heart. At the moment, why it doesn't touch the heart? Many times, intellectually, we cram some words. We make notes and we give classes, which is nice. We should do that. That's the first step. But it's still in our heart, we are not fully convinced. We still think sense gratification may be bahut maza hai. So just try, at least as a goal. Radhanath Maharaj says, all these big qualities which we read about Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, and other great Vaishnavas will never be able to match with them. They're just too high. But by constantly listening about them, meditating about them, we can apply at least some percentage of that, and our life will be successful in that sense. So that's why repeatedly we should put our goal in front of us. It's not just intellect which we are trying to gain. We are trying to gain realization at the end of the day. Someone said in Pune, information, and no transformation. It's waste. It's waste. So just information overload in the head. We are not here for that purpose. We are here to transform our heart collectively together, which is the most difficult job. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
But there is realization when Krishna enters through the heart. Only when there is realization, our heart gets attracted to Krishna. When our heart gets attracted to Krishna, we can actually return back to him.
So if you have to return back to him, intellect will not take us back to Godhead. You may be very brilliant in Shastra, all these Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta degrees you may have. And Radhanath Maharaj again said, when Yamraj will come, you cannot show him your degree. This he was speaking in a graduation ceremony of Bhakti Shastri. He said, you cannot show Yamraj. If you show it to Yamraj, Yamraj will tear it off and say, chalo. New Bhakti Shastri. So that degrees alone are not going to help us in that sense. So very clear purpose again. We have to change our heart. Yes, Mata.
When our heart gets attracted to Krishna, we can actually return back to him. fully develop our love for him, and return back to him eventually. So we have to render service to SM or
This is spiritual master.
okay, render service to spiritual master or representative of spiritual master, and through that we get grace, mercy, and that mercy is not something mysterious.
So
That
what does mercy mean? Sorry, Mataji. What does mercy mean? We keep talking about mercy. If we serve Maharaj, we get mercy. We serve deities, we get mercy. We serve Vaishnava, we get mercy. What does mercy mean? Anyone? Mercy, mercy, mercy. सबको चाहिए. What does it mean? Krishna Vallabha Mata? Just asking is nothing.
Any cause or any situation which brings more, which takes us towards Krishna more and more.
Yes, you're right, Mata. Just one word I'm looking for. You're right, Mataji.
Blessing, Prabhu.
Kripa.
Blessing. Yeah, that's a translation. That's nice.
Closer to
But
Krishna, Prabhu.
closer to Krishna is correct. More?
Attract towards Krishna.
Who said that?
I-
Manmohan Prabhuji, can you repeat that, please?
Attraction towards Krishna.
Attraction towards Krishna. So mercy simply means we are more attracted. Suppose you are doing a seva. So before seva, you are only attracted to Krishna, say 5%. After that seva, you are attracted to Krishna 10%. That means that seva has given you mercy. Many times, if not all the times, what happens? After doing the seva, our mercy gets reduced. You know why? We get puffed up. कितना अच्छा सेवा किया. See, everyone was clapping in the class. Huh? I did so wonderful. Everyone came back and gave the feedback. Now, giving feedback is not bad. Giving fantastic classes or doing kirtans or doing other sevas, you must do the best of your ability. But the point is, mercy means our attraction should grow. Many times, the thing which you are looking forward, we forget that. So, any seva which we do, after the result of the seva is, we should have more attraction for Krishna and more attraction for that seva. I've done some seva today. My attraction for that seva should grow after the seva, not that, Prabhuji, never again. I had such a bad experience. They completely burnt me out. So we have to see the result of this. Sukham kartum abhyam. While you're doing the seva, you're very happy. You're preparing for the seva, you're very happy. And after the seva, you're very happy. Your body may be tired, that's fine. But your heart is very joyful. That means that seva was successful. If after the seva, you're blaspheming Vaishnavas, you're talking about this and that, talking Prajalpa, completely exhausted. Which new movie, Prabhu? And then, devotees will say, Prabhu, I asked you not to go to the movie. And then you'll say, Prabhu, but I went in devotee association. So I went to movie in devotee association. So those sort of things will happen. That's not the end of the seva. And that's why many times we don't know what is the meaning of devotee association. And we use this word so casually. Anyone can define what's the meaning of devotee association? Just hanging out with a devotee is called devotee association because he or she is also initiated. I'm also initiated. We are hanging in a park. Prabhu, I'm in devotee association. Yes?
doing
No?
kirtan or talking about Krishna Leelas.
Yes. More? That's correct.
One who helps us, increase our attraction towards Krishna.
Thank you, Mata. So at the end of that discussion with this Vaishnava or Vaishnavi, my attraction should grow towards Krishna. My doubts about Krishna or Krishna consciousness about the process should get nullified. I had a doubt. Oh, Prabhuji, thank you for clarifying me that doubt. That means association. Talking about mundane things and where is the sale and I got this dress for 50%. That's not devotee association. Going to shopping together, you should go. I'm not saying you should not, but that's not devotee association. That's what Prabhupada says. Exclusive devotee association. Sit down, talk about or walk and talk about Krishna. Because these are going to help us to get more attraction for Krishna, which means our heart is changing. Heart changing means anyone can say, what does heart change mean? I had an Indian heart, now I have Australian heart. Is that right?
We
Heart
start
change.
becoming free from anarthas, the unwanted things within the
Heart is getting free from anartha. So at least we are coming from minus to zero. What
Yeah.
else?
Softening of heart, Prabhu.
Softening our heart. That's good. So sorry, Mataji, I'll just expand on that. Radheshyam Prabhu said that in a class. I'll just expand and repeat what Prabhu said. He said there's a man in Hyderabad, with all due respect to this person, but Radheshyam Prabhu gave this example, very nice. He said he has taken a mission in Hyderabad to serve all the street dogs. So first he started from 1 dog, then 2 dog, then 3 dog. Now his heart is very softened. He wants to serve all the street dogs. And he's in Hyderabad. Very nice person. I'm not saying it's wrong, right? Divyam Kirtan Mata. So what's the missing word there? Softening heart is correct, but it can be softened for other entities as well, which is again not wrong. We need to help wherever we can. But Bharat Maharaj, dear, same thing will happen. His heart was very softened. And absolutely, Vaishnava is identified by this quality of compassion, but compassion towards.
Krishna.
Towards.
No, sorry.
Towards is very, very important, right? So when we are compassionate towards, say, humans, and we are doing animal slaughtering, I'm just giving an example, or serving only dogs, serving only plants, then our service is not complete. It's not very satisfying. It's not liberating us. So our compassion should also be well directed. Okay. Okay. So changing of our heart means changing our desires. The desires which tell us, and I'm the same as well, sense gratification is fantastic, should tell us now after becoming Krishna conscious, sense gratification is not good, it's not worthy. Yehi sansparsha bhoga dukhayo na evate. Once my desires are changing, and what's the barometer of desires changing? Our material attraction is decreasing, Krishna attraction is increasing. If it's happening other way, which happens amongst devotees as well, after coming to Krishna conscious, they become more material conscious. It happens, huh? So I don't want to go into this detail, but yeah. So generally, the barometer is the material consciousness should go down. Our attraction towards materialism, material things, material relations, material possessions should go down. Huh? It's not you live in the street, but our attraction is gone or minimizing. And attraction to Krishna, his seva, his talk, his kirtan is increasing. Where can I get opportunity to listen more, to serve more, to do some service to Vaishnavas, to service to our spiritual master? How can I get that one drop without any ulterior motive? I should get recognition out of that. That means your heart is changing, your desires are changing. That's a good sign. It's not about, it says bhakti is not about perfection, it's about perseverance. So we're not looking perfect devotees. We can't be perfect. It's a very complex situation. But if you're persevere, if you're growing in that direction, Krishna will accept you and says, whatever gaps are there, a spiritual master will fill that up. That's why we have a spiritual master who's very, very kind. As far as you're continuing with that motive, so setting the motive is very, very important. Every day we should read this and we should try to sink it in our heart. And then whatever services we do during the whole day, those services will be very nice and very fruitful. Otherwise, we may do a lot of services and our abhiman may increase, arrogance may increase, and we're actually going Samp Sidi, snake and ladders. We feel like we are going up, actually we're going down. Okay, just last few lines. Maybe Garima Mataji, would you like to read where Swarupani Mataji left?
Yes, Prabhuji. Mercy, and that mercy is not something mysterious. That mercy is actually attraction towards Krishna. So, if we need a personal connection with the disciple succession, which will connect us to Krishna. So, the flow is that knowledge comes down, the disciple succession. Service goes up, the
Just
disciple.
stop here. So knowledge is coming down. So it's coming down from Brahmaji to all the acharyas, which we are receiving right now. We are receiving from them only. We have not created anything. And what goes up is service. So sometimes we don't take the first part, we only do the second part. But if you do both, if you read the knowledge given by our acharyas and you render some service, you render service to your Guru Maharaj will give it to his Guru Maharaj, and his Guru Maharaj. Eventually service will reach to Krishna, and Krishna, what he will flow through? Mercy down. Mercy down. And this knowledge, the instructions of our spiritual master is that mercy which is coming down from Krishna. So if we accept it and render service, whatever little abilities we may have, purely again, purely for when we start the Aarti, we show the lamp, for example, to our Guru Maharaj. We show the flowers to Guru Maharaj. Everything we show to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, I have no eligibility to do this Aarti. On your behalf, I'm doing whatever little I know. So you please accept it. And And then Guru Maharaj will fill up the gaps and give it to his Guru Maharaj, then Srila Prabhupada, then Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And so beautifully it goes up. And Krishna says, oh, this little bhakta in Sydney has rendered this arti to me, has offered these flowers to me, has offered this fruits to me. Just imagine Krishna's heart will be fully pleased because offered by our acharyas. We are very, very little. And then Krishna says, okay, mercy given. Job done. One little offering can make our life successful. Prabhupada says, if once Krishna eats from your hand, what else is there to achieve in the three worlds? Ek baar Krishna ne kha liya agar. One time. And how many times we offer every day? At least 3 to 4 times, I'm sure, right? Some devotees offer 10 times a day. That mood we have to regenerate. Yes, Mata, please continue.
Knowledge comes down from Krishna through parampara, through gurus to us. Then service goes from us to guru to disciple succession all the way to Krishna. Again, from Krishna comes grace or mercy through disciple succession to us. Through that mercy actually evokes our attraction to Krishna and we develop our personal relationship with Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So what's the one theme which Radhanath Maharaj is giving? Our attraction to Krishna has to be increased. No rituals, as they say, it should be spiritual. So don't make it spiritual as ritual, huh? Make it spiritual. So put some spirit in there, and spirit is that goal. Okay, so let's go again. Now so I'll just give some overview of Nectar of Devotion from outside view of Nectar of Devotion. Then we'll go inside and get a real overview from the author, which is Rupa Goswami himself. Anyone would like to read this one? Anyone? Okay, we have Satyava Mata next on the screen, so I'm just going. Okay, Sakhi Radhika Mata, sorry, you have a question? Sorry, I didn't see that hand.
We just start with the mercy flow. I had this question recently. It so happens that in karma we understand there is good karma, there is bad karma. We have understood that part. Okay, something bad comes, it is because of our this thing. Something good comes, then we give the this thing that Krishna is giving us. He's kind. But in mercy, sometimes we're not doing anything, or don't have a good intention, but Krishna is still very kind. But although also there is another, and we get a lot of mercy from good, very senior devotees. So, and at the same time, we also read that to attract mercy, the mercy of God, you have done something which has attracted that mercy. So, how do we understand, even though when we have not done anything, or is it the answer is that Krishna's mercy is unconditional? So, how
Yes,
to understand? Like sometimes it is just when you're sitting at home and the mercy is flown, but we didn't do anything. So,
Yes.
or when we are doing something not so good, but still mercy is coming. So how to understand at that time?
Okay. Actually, you have already given your answer. Just expand on the same thing. So you compared mercy with karma. Sometimes good karma, good results, bad karma, bad results. So you see that, Mataji, sometimes you get some good things in your life. I'm just talking karma wise, right? And you think, you got, 95% marks or something. You say, I didn't do so well. And sometimes you get under marks when you did so well. So like similarly, if you have done certain things for a Vaishnava, for example, just simple example, so mercy does not have to manifest straight away. Sometimes after 3 months, you'll realize. One lecture I heard from one Prabhupada disciple, he was saying, sometimes during the whole life, you don't realize how mercy is coming. The mercy will come at the end of your life. Then automatically your heart will change. If you have done enough sincere services, So he says we should never have any sort of underestimation of what we are receiving in terms of mercy, I mean, nothing else, when we render the service. Sometimes 20 saal ho gaye, 20 years I've been chanting, I've been doing DT worship, I'm still the same. You feel like, so it can be out of humility and it can be you are still the same because you're making so many offenses at the same time. So, but the good point here is mercy may get manifested many, many years later when you haven't done it straight away, but all the mercy got accumulated of Vaishnavas, and at the end of the life, you'll get the mercy and go back to God. That's one part of it. Second part of it is mercy, as you yourself said, is unconditional. It's not proportionate to what you do. Simple examples, you have a small kid. A small kid may do some efforts, but with his effort alone, he may not be able to achieve the things which he wants to achieve. But because you see my child is attempting to achieve something which is very, very high, you go, okay, Abhiyan, here it is. So he's just showing off that he want to achieve some laddus on the shelf, on the top shelf or something. Huh? Mama sees, oh, he really wants it. Okay, beta, take it. Just like that, we are like little children. We are doing little seva. So much aparadh we do, so much ulterior motives we have, so much ego, so much other things we have in our heart. But we are trying to do something. So Krishna sees that. One thing it just says in Nectar of Devotion very nicely, Rupa Goswami says about Krishna. In the case of Ajamil, when Ajamil was chanting Narayan, Krishna still sent the Vishnu Duta. So someone said to Narayan, Narayan, he wasn't chanting your name. Huh? He was just chanting his son's name. He said, but mera naam liya na, but he took my name. Huh? Ajamil took my name. So the action was good. Intention wasn't good, but action was good. Okay, then what happens in the case of Shabri? Shabri, intention was good, but the action was very bad. She was tasting, right? She was tasting and then give it to Lord Ram. We never do that. We're not even allowed to taste the salt. Huh? Okay, high devotees can do that as well. So he said in the case of Shabri, intention was good, action was not good, doesn't matter. But in case of Indra, in the Indra Puja, Govardhan Puja, the intention as well as the action, both were wrong. Indra's intention was wrong, action was wrong. बोले कभी बोलते sometimes you say intention चाहिए, sometimes you say action चाहिए, sometimes intention, action both are wrong. Then Krishna says, माफी मांगा ना. He asks for forgiveness. He asks for forgiveness. So this is the Krishna which we are trying to love. He's so kind. He's just looking forward to give marks. All of you got fantastic marks. Are literally looking forward. कहाँ से देना है? Not that I'm something, but this is how our Lord is. This is how Prabhupada is. Huh? This is how our Guru Maharaj is. Not that we are eligible. Huh? Sometimes we do some little action right, sometimes intention right, sometimes both wrong. Huh? Still our Guru Maharaj, ठीक है Baba. You come. You come. I'll take you forward. I'll take you forward. So this is how it is. Huh? But effort has to be shown to Krishna and Guru. Yes, I'm trying. If you're watching movies, and Krishna can still give you mercy if he likes to, but we are not Kripa Siddhas, we are Sadhana Siddhas. In that mark of Sadhana Siddhas, so through the sadhana, we are trying to get the Siddhi. Through the sadhana. Again, mercy has to come in. So this is our mark. This is our path. So all of us is expected to do as best as possible sadhana. Again, as per guidance of our seniors. And then if we do that at times, which may look very much to us, but actually it's not so much. It's not so much. But Guru Maharaj still says, okay, chalo, okay, chalo back to Godhead. So he's our only hope in that sense. Is that okay? And as you initially said, we should try to get every drop of mercy. Bibi Govind Maharaj said we should become makhi chus. Everyone knows that. I will not repeat it. We should become makhi chus about getting mercy of Krishna. Wherever there's even little drop is there, sakta makhi. Giriraj Prabhu and Sarupani Mataji may not understand this joke, but kanjus. Kanjus means if there's a makhi in a glass, in the milk of glass you're drinking, and the makhi goes down. A normal person will discard the whole glass of milk. Kanjus will discard the makhi and still drink the glass of milk. And the makhi juice will? You understand, okay?
Yes.
Visuals are enough. So we should try to do that for Krishna's mercy. Any devotee, any katha, any kirtan, any Vaishnav seva, if possible, we should try to get there, get the mercy of that Vaishnava.
Prabhupada, this
Now,
word or
yes.
Makhi juice word, like the similar thing, I was hearing from Indradev Maharaj, and he said, and that name for a devotee is who is who has love for, who's greedy for that is Lalasamai.
Lal Samay. Thank you. Yes.
He said.
So, lolyam api ekamulyam. So, Srila Rupa Goswami says, lolyam, lalach. In material terms, the lalach word, greed word is very bad. But in devotional terms, greed is the only price you have to pay to get to Krishna. Greed. Prabhupada was asked, how do you get Krishna? Prabhupada did not say chant more, serve more. He said, desire Krishna. desire Krishna. If you desire, you can get it. And he's such a master, in this material world. If you desire many things, nothing happens, everything goes other way. But if you desire Krishna, he's so kind, you will get there. Okay, thank you, Mataji. So what is nectar of devotion? I can say in words as well, this Prabhupada words. Read that. Nectar of Devotion is a brief summary of the essential topics presented in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. I'll talk about Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in a minute. I'm just reading few things. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the actual book written by Srila Rupa Goswami. It's a quite big book. Many of you would have seen it. So Nectar of Devotion, which we see on the screen, at least is the original version. I don't know the latest print what they have at the front, but this is the original version. Many of the devotees will have this book. I also have the same book. So this is a summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's not the full book. It's a summary study. When I say summary study, everyone has read Krishna book here. I expect that Krishna book, which is the summary study of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. What does summary study means? What's the difference between, says, 10th canto of Bhagavatam, with Prabhupada purports, and Krishna book? Anyone? We should know these things. So summary study means this is a summary of the 10th canto's pastime, included with philosophy and relevant examples by Prabhupada. So Putana's pastime, for example, Prabhupada has explained in Krishna book, which is Putana's pastime plus what he wants to give extra philosophy, plus the relevant examples, because this is the book which is read by many, many people. The audience are quite wide. So even no one has read, if this person has not read Srimad Bhagavatam, he has no understanding of Bhagavatam, he still understands what's the philosophy Prabhupada wants to give, what's the pastime. So it may not be exact verse by verse translation. So there's a commentary. Commentary means verse by verse translation and the commentary. So for each verse, you have word to word translation, then you have the actual translation, then you have the purport. But in a summary book, summary study means he just gives the gist of that pastime, plus he gives philosophy and the relevant examples. So this becomes very useful for the people who are reading that. So Prabhupada gave two summary books. One is Nectar of Devotion and one is Krishna book. So Nectar of Devotion, again, there's no verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. You will not find any verses there. So all the other Prabhupada books, you'll see verses are there, translations and purports are there. Here, there is no verse, not even single verse is there. But he has done that translation as per Rupa Goswami, and he has given many, many relevant examples. And that's why it becomes very sweet. Even if you have no background, you can still read and make many things out of it. Very, very nice. But we'll try to connect Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu with Nectar of Devotion up to an extent, wherever we can. The reason Prabhupada couldn't do it, Prabhupada finished this book in 1969, somewhere in July 1969, because Prabhupada, as you know, by that time was traveling extensively. He has no time actually to write it and translate the whole Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu word by word. Translations and purport is a very, very big job actually. So if Prabhupada would be doing that, then Prabhupada will not be able to do other things. Usually when people write books, they go in a very solitary area. They have their libraries with him and they have full dedication to write that book. But you understand, Prabhupada was traveling, like in 12 years, he did 14 circles around the globe, so much lecture, so much managerial duties, so much disciples, things he was dealing with. And on top of that, he was writing everything. So it's a fantastic work which he has done, but it's still a summary study. We recommend everyone to read the summary study and then move to the next stage, which is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, so it has been identified by Srila Prabhupada as one of the main literary pillars of this movement, along with the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, because this book, anyone knows the theme of this book, we have discussed about in NOI introduction. So NOI introduction, if you remember, there were two topics we discussed, Sadhya and Sadhan. Sadhya means the target which we are trying to achieve. In this case, who is the sadhya? Anyone? What's the sadhya? Hum sabka sadhya kya hai?
Goal, Krishna.
Goal is Krishna. So sadhya is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And what's the sadhan? Now there are many ways which we may be able to achieve Krishna, but what is our sadhan, the recommended one?
Devotional service.
devotional service, bhakti. So there can be jnana yogis, karma yogis, dhyana yogis, this ati yogis, this and that. But our sadhan is bhakti. Now, this sadhan is established through which books? Sadhya is established through which book, Manmohan Prabhu? And sadhan is established through which books? This is the question.
Adya Nectar, Ishopanishad.
So sadhya, pehle Prabhuji.
Bhagavad Gita and
Bhagavad Gita and
Ishopanishad.
Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad points towards that sadhya. Bhagavad Gita talks about that sadhya. Khulla, ekdam openly. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, aham sarvasya prabhu, aham bija pradapita, matta parataram na anyat. Krishna, khulla, I am that sadhya. Okay. Ishopanishad points towards that. And sadhan, what are the books for sadhan?
Nectar of instruction and nectar of devotion.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. So why? Can you elaborate on that? Why?
It tells us the Vedi Bhakti, how we should be performing the devotional service. Eventually, it would transform into Raganuga Bhakti.
Thank
But
you.
we have to follow the process.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So the books of Sadhya say Bhagavad Gita and Ishopanishad, also Bhagavad Gita does not elaborately in detail describe about the sadhan. Bhagavad Gita, for example, does not tell about 64 limbs of bhakti, for example. You should do Ekadashi and all that. Is not described in Bhagavad Gita because the primarily book of Sadhya. While those things are described, NOI describes in sadhan, which part of sadhan? The behavior of a devotee. So Rupa Goswami has written, NOI says, to avoid neglectful, offensive, and inattentive attitude of a devotee. So NOI stands for not only nectar of instruction, neglectful, offensive, and inattentive attitude of a devotee, which we all are, isn't it? At least I can talk about myself. So to avoid that, so devotee's behavior should be very exemplary. And then we have exemplary behavior of a devotee, and then he reads NOD with a whole detail how you can go, as Manmohan Prabhuji said, from a very beginner level of devotee to the advanced level of devotee. So these books help you in that journey, and we'll read about the objectives of this book. So this book belong to which theme? Sadhan, and it helps you to transition your journey from a very neophyte to a very advanced stage. And that's why Prabhupada considered this as a very, very important book. And we are reading this as a part of Bhakti Shastri as well. It's a handbook on how to practice Krishna consciousness. It describes, anyone can read quickly? Anyone?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, please. Please, Mata.
From the beginning or just it
No,
describes?
just the nature.
Yeah. The nature of Uttama Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti.
So nature of Uttam Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti is one of the important topics. Yes, Mataji?
The stages in the development of prema.
How many stages are there? Everyone knows that? Jaldi, jaldi. 9. 9 stages.
Shraddha.
It took so long. That's fine, Sujal Prabhu. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure we're on the right place. So 9 stages. This book will talk about that. Yes, Mataji?
The limbs of bhajana.
What are different types of bhajan? How we can perform, how we can please Krishna through those limbs. Again, we are talking this bona fide because this book is by Rupa Goswami. Yes, next.
Offenses committed in the performance of devotional
Is
service.
this an important topic? We are doing a lot of plus, but we are doing minuses as well. And doctor will not be very happy. You are taking the medication, but still taking the pakoda and ice cream and chila. Doctor said, bhai, 1 week I asked you not to take it. But we keep taking those negatives, which is the offenses. So what happens? We perform a lot of devotional service, but at the same time, we perform a lot of offenses as well. So what happens? We don't see any advancement. Yes, Mataji?
Offenses against the holy name.
This is very important. Every morning we read that, right? So Rupa Goswami will talk about this. What are the offenses of the holy name? Yes, Mata?
Vaidhi and Raganuga, Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti.
Now, this is one of the most important and elaborate description of nectar of devotion, especially for Bhakti Shastri. Vaidhi and Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. And in that also, Vaidhi Bhakti has taken the most percentage of the course. Why? Because we are under Vaidhi Bhaktas. Raganuga pata nahi. First, let's perform Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi means Vidhi Vidhan ki Bhakti. Very simple. Vidhi Vidhan, rules and regulations. You tell your kid to go to school, do this, but kids keep doing the other things. Why? They don't want to follow rules and regulations. Huh? Same like us. Huh? We also don't want to follow. We want to do free flow bhakti, which at this stage is difficult. Huh? If you want to drive free flow on the road, will it work? Acharya Nishta Prabhu, just free driving. कोई tension नहीं है. No speed cameras, no red light cameras. मजा आएगा?
Yes.
Yes? आएगा मजा?
Side effects भी आएंगे उसके.
साइड इफेक्ट्स भी आएगा नहीं मेन इफेक्ट भी आएगा you might end up in hospital. Free flows doesn't work, huh? So we have to follow even at our workplace, in driving at our home, we have to follow certain rules and regulations. Huh? Although we like to, Prabhupada said once, what's the difference between mind and intelligence? Prabhupada gave this example. If you stand on the terrace of 50-story building, you're standing on the terrace of a 50-story building, your mind says jump and intelligence says don't. Your intelligence says don't. Huh? So that's the difference between mind and intelligence. So mind always says, yes, free chahiye. Nothing comes free here in this material world. Huh? And if you take it for free, you have to give it back. Listening to someone yesterday, he was saying we should never take anything free from anyone because we get the debt of that person. Huh? Even if you give something back, whatever possible for you, you should give back. Huh? Now, again, what you will give, what receive, it's all a complex talk. But the point here is you should have that giving attitude, not, maza aa gaya. I got it for free. No, no, no. Some karmas are coming back. Some karmas are coming back. So we should try to be having this giving attitude. And that's very nice and satisfying to our heart as well. You can give more, but you cannot take more. If you take more, you get more karma. So have that attitude. It's very nice for bhakti as well. Okay. Now, faithful person who study this book will obtain the qualification to enter into the wealth of the prema of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, let's move forward. So Prabhupada words are there. We'll expand it little later, but I would like to read it. It's very beautiful words. Anyone else? Anyone?
All right, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhupada writes, the basic principle of the living condition is that we have a general propensity to love someone. No one can live without loving someone else. Preface, he continues, the nectar of devotion will teach us how to turn the one switch that will immediately brighten everything, everywhere. One who doesn't know this method is missing the point of life.
So Prabhupada said very nicely, I like this. He said, how to turn that one switch that will immediately brighten everything. Isn't it? That's what we want. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito, that's what we want. Huh? So we want Krishna to come and enlighten our heart. So Prabhupada is saying, I'll teach you that. Once Prabhupada was in Allahabad, his friend OBL Kapoor came to his pharmacy. Prabhupada was a pharmacist that time. He came to his pharmacy and Prabhupada was very happy. So his friend Mr. Kapoor asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, why are you so happy today? Prabhupada said, I found the formula of getting love of Godhead. Prabhupada said, when Prabhupada was young pharmacist, and OBL Kapoor, Mr. OBL Kapoor asked Prabhupada, what is that? And Prabhupada says, Trananda pi suniye na tarora pi sahishrana amani na man dena kirtaniye satahari. So Prabhupada said, this is the formula to get the love of Godhead. This is not love the Godhead. This is the formula to get the love of Godhead, right? So we want to go from here to India. What's the formula? You catch a flight, Singapore Airlines, Etihad or whatever, right? So flight itself is not India. Flight takes you to the India. So if you follow this formula, Prabhupada also said, I think elsewhere, you should have this verse printed and put it around our neck, not to show to others to follow. This verse 3 of Sikshastakam. So if you apply this, so my Guru Maharaj was also, even Radhanath Maharaj keeps saying this verse again and again and again. And we don't follow it again and again and again. But Maharaj emphasizes so much. So, Trananda Pisunichen, Trananda Pisunichen. So if we have that sort of attitude, we can advance faster. So that one switch that immediately brighten everything. We'll talk about that. Now, Prabhupada sums up the theme of the whole book. This is again Prabhupada words, very powerful, and he gives a beautiful example. Someone else can read. Sanjay Prabhu, like to read? This is about the theme of the book in Prabhupada words. Sanjay Prabhu?
Oh, sorry, bro. Srila Prabhupada sums up the theme of the whole book
In the primary stage, a child loves his parents, then his brothers and sisters, and as he daily grows up, he begins to love his family, society, community, country, nation, or even the whole human society. But the loving propensity is not satisfied even by loving all human society. That loving propensity remains imperfectly fulfilled until we know who is the supreme beloved. Our love can be fully satisfied only when it is reposed in Krishna. This theme is the sum and substance of the nectar of devotion, which teaches us how to love Krishna in 5 different transcendental mellows.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, what is the theme of this book? How to love Krishna. Keshav Maharaj was giving a class recently, I heard, and he asked devotees, what's the theme of Bhagavatam? And everyone is like, and Maharaj said, come on, say it up. He said, love. What's the theme of Chaitanya Charitamrita? Love. So all our Shastra is talking about love. And he says, what's the theme of Bollywood? Love. So Bollywood's copying us. Bollywood is copying us. The real love, Shastra is talking about the real love, because this is the tendency of all the human beings. Prabhupada said in the first one, everyone has a propensity to love someone, to serve someone. This is our propensity. If we don't get anyone, we serve dogs or cats or whatever else, right? We have this tendency. Prabhupada said, if you don't serve God, you serve dog. G-O-D, D-O-G. So it goes other way. You have to love and serve someone. This is our basic human need. Radhanath Maharaj said, we want to love someone and we want to be loved by someone. Isn't it? Those are 2 basic needs we all have. We want to love someone, serve someone, and served by someone. So, but we don't know how to do it. So Prabhupada is saying this book will teach you how to do it perfectly, because we can repose our love to Krishna, that will satisfy our heart. And how it will be attained in 5 different mellows, which we'll talk later. Okay. Now the Prabhupada concludes this book with these words, very beautiful. Someone else can read. This is the final words of Prabhupada when he wrote NOD.
Can I read?
Yes, anyone, Prabhuji.
In the concluding words to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Prabhupada writes, by rough calculation, it is estimated that Srila
Rupa Goswami?
Sorry, Prabhu, the last words are cutting down. Rupa Goswami finished Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in
Gokul?
In the Gokul, Vrindavana in the year 1552.
Just to let everyone know, sorry, this book, Rupa Goswami took 30 plus years to write. Can you believe? 30 plus years. Now, we find it in our bookshelf just like that, lying there for 30 years. So much hard work Rupa Goswami has put in this book. So we should take it quite seriously. Even to write one verse, he would have taken, I'm imagining, it's nowhere is written, many days and weeks of contemplation. We'll read some verses, you'll really appreciate Rupa Goswami, how much he has put in one verse, how much thought he has given. It's just perfect. There's nothing can be added or deleted from that verse. So much work he has put. We just take it like that. 34 or 36 years he took to write complete, like from beginning to end, one book. We are not even patient to read it for 3 months as a part of Bhakti Shastri summary study. So, yes, please continue, Prabhu.
While physically present, Srila Rupa Goswami was living in different parts of Vrindavana, and his headquarters were in the temple of Sri Radha Damodara in the present city of Vrindavana. The place of Rupa Goswami's bhajana, execution of devotional service, is commemorated still. There are 2 different tomb-like structures in the Radha Damodar temple. One structure is called his place of bhajana, and in the other his body is entombed. Behind this very tomb, I have my place of bhajana, but since 1965, I have been away. The place, however, is being taken care by my disciples. By Krishna's will, I am now residing at the Los Angeles temples of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. The purport is finished today on the 30th of June, 1969.
So Prabhupada finished his wordings of this book 30th June 1969. Just to let you know, side information, Prabhupada finished Bhagavad Gita in Sydney. The final verse came out of Sydney. So if you read Bhagavad Gita introduction, you will see the final is written Sydney there. So Prabhupada used to write that where he is finishing, what's the date. Huh? It's very nice. So Prabhupada finished this book on 30th June 1969. Okay, let's get inside the preface of Nectar of Devotion. Now, before again we go to the preface, let's try to understand what this preface is. So in many books, you'll find preface, introduction, foreword, prologue. There are different things which author puts before starting the book itself. So what's the preface? In simple terms, preface can be, okay, let's do the foreword first, because then you'll understand the preface. Because a foreword is something which is written by other than author, a third party, you can say. Huh? So foreword is written by third party. So suppose Giriraj Prabhu writes a book and his Guru Maharaj writes a foreword. For example, it's possible one day. Huh? So Guru Maharaj will say, okay, I've read this book. This book explains this and that. Is very nice, blah, blah. So anyone reads his Guru Maharaj sort of certification, immediately buys the book. For example, huh? So basically, the person who's writing the foreword is a more known person in the community, you can say. It's like when some third person comes from India, so Giriraj Prabhu may introduce that person. Huh? This person is this, because you are known to the community, right? That the speaker may not be known at that time to the community. So the person who's writing the foreword acts like a mediator between the crowd or audience whom he's addressing and the author. Huh? So now this book does not have a foreword. Bhagavad Gita has the foreword. I would say had a foreword from Ellen Skinberg. Initially, when Prabhupada wrote the very, very first one, it was published not by ISKCON BBT. That time ISKCON was too small, but it was published by Macmillan Press. So Allen Ginsberg, but he was a bit of a notorious personality, although very famous, but notorious personality. So later on, Prabhupada removed that foreword. Now, Krishna book foreword has been written by George Harrison. George Harrison, everyone knows who George Harrison is. So he was extremely popular and he wrote the foreword. So that also helped in distributing the book. So the foreword is written in many books. Now, preface is something where Prabhupada has written a little introduction of the book, you can say, little introduction of the author of the book, which in this case is Rupa Goswami. Huh? So Prabhupada will introduce something about the book and something about the author in the preface itself. So we'll read that. Author of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is Rupa Goswami, overview of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and also third thing is primary subject matter, which is Bhakti Rasa. Huh? So 3 topics Prabhupada is introducing in his preface. Next, we'll see the introduction, which probably not happen today, maybe next week. Now, introduction again, he will introduce 3 topics. Mangalacharan, broad contents of the book, definition of pure devotional service. Huh? So preface and introduction, you can say it's a separate thing. So preface we'll read today and introduction probably will start next week. Huh? Introduction of the author. Anyone who doesn't know anything about Rupa Goswami, please raise your hand. Okay, everyone knows that. Who can explain in 2 minutes about Rupa Goswami? Anything which you know, which you can remember? Anyone? This was sometime I have to name the person. Mridula Radha Mata. Okay, someone else said.
Yeah, Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami is the foremost of 6 Goswamis, and he was working. There are 2 brothers. He's the youngest of the brothers.
Okay, can I expand on that?
Yeah.
He had three brothers total, including Rupa. So 3 brothers. What are the name of 3 brothers? Childhood names. Who can tell? Jaldi. Childhood names of Rupa, Sanatan, and the third one.
Santosh, Amar, and
thank you.
Vallabh.
And Vallabh.
Vallabh. Thank you so much. Huh? So Santosh, Amar, and Vallabh. Amar became what? Akhand Rasa Prabhu.
Sanatan.
Sanatan Goswami.
Amar is Sanatan Goswami. Yes, Santosh is Rupa Goswami, and Vallabh became
Anupam.
Okay, so thank you, Prabhuji. So we have childhood names and we have the later initiated name. In between, there are two more names of Rupa and Sanatan before pre-initiation. Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik, they were,
Sakar Malik is who?
is Sanatan Goswami.
Thank you.
and
Dabir Khas is the.
Rup Goswami.
They were employed by whom? Who will say?
Nawab Hussain Shah.
Nawab Hussain Shah. Why? Why did they accept the service of Nawab Hussain Shah?
They were working as
You're looking for
financial
job?
and home minister under the
Yeah. So Rupa Goswami was the personal secretary and Sanatan was the finance minister. Why did they seek job under Nawab Hussain Shah? Now, we have discussed all that. That's why I'm just revisiting. If you don't remember, that's fine. Why? Divya Kirtan Mata?
They wanted to protect the devotees who were being persecuted by the Nawab, and they were forced to take up the service in order to protect them.
Thank you. So Nawab Hussain Shah said, if you do not accept my job offer, I will kill all the Vaishnavas. So to protect them. But what was the personal impact on their life? Someone else can say.
They were ostracized from the um, uh, basically anyone who used to work in that session or parliament, whatever it's called. They would cut them off from the society. So they were, although they were brahmanas, they were
So they're
actually
Orthodox Brahmins and they did not like Hindus working under Muslims. So they cut them off. So this was the great impact. Suppose they sacrificed their personal life for the community and they were misunderstood. We have many parallels in history as well where person has to sacrifice so much, but he was extremely misunderstood. Thank you. What happened to their devotional life? Divya Kirtan Mataji, what happens to their devotional life? So personal life, their career, sort of they gave up. But what happens to their devotional life after they started working with Nawab Hussain Shah? Okay, no problem. Absolutely okay. Anyone else? Satyabama Mataji, what happened to their personal devotional life?
It still continued, Prabhu.
Thank you. How?
They
They were
established
still following everything as per the scriptures,
Yes.
and it was not affected, even though materially, in the material world, they had to perform their duties, but it did not affect their spiritual life.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So what they did, the money which they earned from the job, they used that money to propagate Vaishnavism. They were still inviting Brahmanas and they were propagating. They also made Gupta Vrindavan. Like in their palace, there was a whole replica of Vrindavan. They used to live in which place? Anyone remembers that famous place? Ramkeli. So Ramkeli is the place where they used to live, and they made the replica of Vrindavan because they could not go out, but so their personal devotional life was not obstructed at all. Rather, they were helping the propagation of Vaishnava culture. So sometimes our situation may be similar, but our personal devotional life should not get interrupted. Radhanath Maharaj always says this beautiful line. He says, our devotional life is not resource dependent, it is desire dependent. Resource dependent means sometimes we may be rich or sometimes we may be poor, sometimes the life may go in a favor or unfavorable way. We have no control over. But our devotional life depends on our desire. If we desire, we can serve Krishna in any situation of life, anywhere. We cannot blame, okay, I don't have a good job, that's why I cannot be a good devotee. I don't have money, that's why I'm not a good devotee. My health is not good. No, in any situation of life, you can serve Krishna and you can be fully Krishna conscious. Thank you. That's just an introduction. Madhuri Mataji, sorry, I'll come back to you. You can start the devotional career now. So this was just a childhood introduction till youth. They were initiated by whom?
Actually, Sanatan Goswami was initiated by Rupa Goswami.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
no
somehow
problem.
remember that brother has.
No problem. They were initiated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So all the 6 Goswamis, especially Rupa and Sanatan, were initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in Ramkeli, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came. He met with both brothers and he initiated them from Sakar Malik and the Bir Khas to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Later on, what happened, I'll go very quick here. Rupa Goswami, I think within 2 years after meeting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, within the first year actually, Rupa Goswami left his job and he ran towards Vrindavan. He met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in which city? Someone else can say. Quickly.
Prayag city.
Thank you. How long Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent with Rupa Goswami at Prayagraj in this second meeting?
10 days.
Thank you. How long Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Sanatan Goswami in his second meeting and at which city?
Jagannath.
Jagannath. So who said Jagannath?
Jagannath Puri.
That's not the correct answer. Maybe you can try. Someone else. Please say loudly. Even if it's wrong, it's okay. Varanasi. Thank you. How long Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent with Sanatan Goswami?
2 months, I think.
2 months. So Rupa, he only gave 10 days, but Sanatan, he gave 2 months. So obviously Sanatan came later, Rupa came first, because Rupa started following the instructions. So initiation date was exactly same, right? Sometimes we talk about senior and junior devotees. So initiation date was exactly same, but because Rupa surrendered his life to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What does surrender mean? It's not the initiation date. Is that initiation date is your surrender date? Is that right? You can say like that, but usually the surrender is when you give up your life for your guru. So Rupa gave up his life for his guru, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first, before Sanatan. So Sanatan, although he's an elder brother, used to consider Rupa as a senior god brother, because he has given his life before me. I came late. No, the late was only like 2-3 months late, because he was in the jail. He was not like doing some other things. He was in the jail. Nawab Hussain Shah put him in the jail. Anyway, long story. So Rupa Goswami, because he came first, he got the instructions first, and he started working on those instructions. So Sanatan Goswami had so much respect for Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami had the same respect for Sanatan. It's not like, yes, Prabhuji, I'm senior now. Now, if someone considers you senior, you should consider him senior, because he is so humble that he's considering a jiva like me, a rascal conditioned jiva like me as a senior. So you should actually bow down to that person who's considering you senior. Anyway, Rupa had love. When Jiva Goswami came, who was the guru of Jiva Goswami? Jaldi. We have discussed all that, so I'm not asking. By rediscussion, you will remember few things. If I say, you will forget tomorrow.
Rupa Goswami.
Manmohan Prabhu?
Rupa Goswami.
Pakka?
Pakka.
Thank you. Sorry. So, Rupa Goswami. So, Jiva Goswami first approached Sanatan Goswami, and Sanatan said, no, take initiation from Rupa. He's senior. Just look at the humility of Sanatan Goswami. And Jiva Goswami later took Diksha from Rupa Goswami. So, Rupa Goswami started his life in Vrindavan, a devotional life, you can say, with 4 mission statements given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who can tell 4 mission statements? We have discussed that again in NOI, and I think it was an exam question as well, if I'm not wrong. Sorry.
Preaching.
Build the temples.
Preaching, thank you, Mata. But before that, you're right.
Build the temples.
Before that,
Excavation.
before that,
Writing books.
Find the places.
Find
भाई मंदिर कहाँ बनाएंगे आप?
excavation of the places.
Yeah, so first instruction is find the places, right? पहले तो जमीन चाहिए ना, घर कहाँ बनाएंगे? पहले घर बनाना है. Yes, right. जमीन कहाँ है? Where is the land? 180 Falcon Street, for example. So first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, find the lost places of Radha Krishna's pastime, because he himself found one place. What was that place? Jaldi say. Thank you. He found that place, and he told to Rupa and Sanatan and other Goswamis as well, you go and find a lot. There's so many. Vrindavan is full of the places of Leelas. So he said, find the places. Second, whoever said excavation and building the temples is second. Third, Mridula Mata said the fourth one. What's the third instruction?
Write literature.
Write books. Write books. Establish what? Establish what?
Vaishnavism.
Vaishnavism, yes, more. Sadhya and sadhan. Sadhya, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to achieve Krishna, bhakti is the topmost sadhya. Fourth, Mridula Mata, you already said, preach. So 4 instructions were given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to all the Goswamis, and they worked their whole life to follow these instructions. Okay. Yes, Sanjay Prabhuji.
Prabhu, sorry, quick clarification. I think just the point earlier which Mridula Mataji was making, just trying to get clarification. Prabhu, in introduction, Srila Prabhupada writes that Srila Rupa Goswami first prays to Srila Sanatan Goswami, and then he says his spiritual master over there. But like I do understand that Srila Rupa Goswami was initiated by Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how do we, sorry, I don't know if you explained that point.
Can we do it later? It's coming, Prabhuji. It's
Oh,
coming. It will come in Mangalacharan,
Oh,
Prabhu.
vaguely I
Mangalacharan
remember,
means
Prabhu. Vaguely we remember last time that we discussed this way. So
yeah. So can I park it, Sanjay Prabhuji? It will probably come next week. There's a verse there, and we'll go to the verse where he's offering his obeisances, which you're talking. Huh? So we'll just take it when we get there. Okay, it's just a short intro of the author. We should all know these facts. This is not the questions for the exam, but Srila Rupa Goswami is so great. We should know some basic facts about Srila Rupa Goswami. He wrote many, many books, many, many books. Okay, now the second part of the preface, as we read in the previous slide, was the overview of the book. So now I'm going to do overview of this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I'll come to NOD little later. So I'll do some mapping between NOD and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So let's go to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and read that this is not my wordings. This is the wordings of Acharyas, because I would really like to get your mood into the Acharya's mood. And then we can proceed inside the book very nicely. So anyone can read this one paragraph, a little one, someone who has not read as yet.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is one of the major works of Srila Rupa Goswami and a mainstay of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. It is the ontological analysis of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Rupa Goswami shows how the categories of ecstatic spiritual consciousness are described in Srimad Bhagavatam and backs up all of his points by extracting authoritative quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So if you didn't know, so this is an elaboration of Srimad Bhagavatam. Again, the topics are very, very focused here. Bhakti is the only topic. So Bhagavatam talks about many other topics as well. Here, the topic is definitely Bhakti. But see the beauty of this. So all the categories of ecstatic spiritual consciousness are described in Srimad Bhagavatam and backs up all his points by extracting authoritative quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic. You will see many times he's quoting Srimad Bhagavatam verses again to back up his point, what he is saying. So he's not just writing a book from his own mind, he's writing a book which is completely bona fide, completely aligned with basic other scripture, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, next paragraph, someone else can read. Anyone who hasn't read? Prabhuji, you have already read it. Someone else I would prefer.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
I can read, Prabhu.
I think Vinay Prabhu is frozen.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read now.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Process of pure devotional service is the subject of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Although it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is not explained in detail there. But Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu discusses Uttama Bhakti, pure devotional service, more elaborately than any other Vedic literature. It details all the steps to go from ordinary material consciousness through the highest perfection of Prema Bhakti. Therefore, every devotee who sincerely wants to attain the highest perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness must study this great transcendental literature. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So the process of pure devotional service is the subject. Okay. And now what's the goal? Reasons quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami. So this is Jiva Goswami speaking. Why Srila Rupa Goswami wrote Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? So because Jiva Goswami has written his own commentary on this book as well. Okay, so what are the 3 points? Anyone? Divya Mata, would you like to read just the 3 points?
Ji Prabhu. For the betterment of mankind or humanity, especially for satisfying the thirst a self-realized soul has for divine love or prema bhakti. Number 3, give them instructions to rise to the platform of Braja Bhakti.
Thank you, Mataji. So you can understand the betterment of mankind. Prabhupada said, even if you read NOD, if you have no devotional background, you still get benefited. And if you're a devotee, you can get to the platform of Braja Bhakti just by reading this book and following this book systematically. So it's a beautiful book Very, very nice. What is the meaning of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? So our acharyas describe Bhakti. Who knows the meaning of word Bhakti as per Prabhupada? Everyone should know, but what does Bhakti Prabhupada translates as?
Devotional service.
Devotional service. Thank you so much. So what does devotional service mean?
That takes closer to Krishna.
Takes us closer to Krishna. Thank you. So, okay, it has two words. We can say that devotional and service. Now, devotion refers to our internals. Devotion is an emotion. A soldier is devoted to his country, for example. A mother is devoted to the children, for example, right? So, devotional is an emotion which is internals. And action, devotional service. So, service is external, which we do by hand or legs or by eyes or by our other senses. There are two parts. So, from inside as well as outside, we are serving Krishna. So bhakti, the word bhakti is translated as devotion. Sorry, bhakti is based on the dhatu root bhaj, which includes love and service. So devotion indicates the internal side and service indicates the action side. So bhakti, rasa. Now there is no exact translation of the word rasa. Prabhupada writes that in English. So rasa cannot be exactly translated into English because English in some sense is a very poor language. Very, very poor. So we can only do indicative translations, not the best translation. So Prabhupada writes here a mellow. In Hindi, we have am ras, ganne ka ras, and all those rasas. So here rasa refers to a sweet exchange or sweet emotion. A mother serving a child, she feels some pleasure in that service. A soldier serving the country feels some pleasure. Or any pleasurable activity you may do. So there's some rasa is there, some emotions are involved there. Now, Bhakti Rasa, Amrit. Amrit word means immortal. Everyone understand? Now, there are many meanings of Amrita. We'll just take a simple one here is nectar. Sindhu. Sindhu means ocean. Everyone knows that. So if we have to combine all that from Sanskrit to English, what will be the translation? So it can be the nectarian ocean of mellow, of devotional service, of the ocean of devotional service, something like that. That would be very complex. So Prabhupada kept it simple and he said nectar of devotion. So there's individual words which we cannot directly translate, but the good title which Prabhupada gave to this particular book is Nectar of Devotion. What does word rasa mean? So Prabhupada explains that force that drives the philanthropist, the householder, and the nationalist is called rasa. So that force, some force. Every day we don't like to go to work, we still go to work. The mother may not like serving the child in the middle of the night, but she still serves because she loves the child. She still serves the family, father serves the family. And some philanthropists, we're talking about that person who's looking after all the dogs in Hyderabad, for example. And there are many more people who are serving humanity, which is nice. Householder, nationalist is called rasa, or a kind of mellow whose taste is very, very sweet. Without rasa, why would you work so hard? You have to have something back in return. Now, Prabhupada writes this, mundane workers labor very hard day and night in order to relish a certain kind of rasa, which is understood as sense gratification. Now, they work for money. With the money, they buy different things. And with those different things, they do sense gratification. The relish or taste of the mundane rasa does not long endure, and therefore mundane workers are always apt to change their position of enjoyment. Material engagement means accepting a particular status for some time and then changing it. This position of changing back and forth is technically known as bhoga tyaga, which means a position of alternating sense enjoyment and renunciation. Just to give you a simple example, anyone loves gulab jamun here? सब संकोच करते. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu is the only nice one, Garima Mata. You love gulab jamun. Suppose someone invites you for a lunch prasadam or a dinner prasadam, and he only serves you gulab jamun because you love gulab jamun. He will serve you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sanjay Prabhu, what's your max so far? What's the record?
Probably had 8 at a time.
8. Maybe maximum you can go 10, 12, and after that, like no more. So with the material things, no matter how great they are, how much love you have for those things, and even if someone is providing you for free and it's all prasadam, can you take more than 10, 12? After 15, you'll vomit actually. So although you love the things are available, they are pure, they are offered to Krishna, but it's still. So material things always have a limit. And then what happens? Initially, you have desire of bhog. आज तो गुलाब जामुन मिलेंगे. आज pizza मिलेगा. Today I'm going to get pizza, gulab jamun, or whatever else. Huh? You have so much desire. I think Radhanath Maharaj was saying in one class, if I'm not wrong, I think it was Maharaj, he says, uh, the pleasure in sense gratification is only in the imagination. The pleasure in sense gratification is only in the imagination. Because when you imagine, it looks, wow, when I land in America, the whole America will bow down to me and they will offer salute to me, this and that. No one even looks at us when we land there. Huh? So it's all in the imagination. When you go to Switzerland, Honolulu, wherever it is, your dream holiday destination, Fiji, whatever it may be. Huh? So it's only in the management. You go there, it's extremely raining. You can't even get out of your hotel room. 7 days, raining constantly, constantly, constantly. There's no electricity, this and that. Huh? So Mara said, it's only in the imagination. That's true. That's true. Or even if you get it, it doesn't last too long. Huh? And the second thing, even if you get it, it's not as per your expectation. Someone offers you gulab jamun, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, for example, but then you need a hammer for that. Bhai Sahab, you gave me gulab jamuns, but without hammer. That also happens sometimes. I I went somewhere, I won't name it anyway. They offered me a pizza recently. And I'm not a lover of pizza or anything, but anyway, it came in my plate and it looked very nice. It was like, okay, nice pizza. And I had the first bite. I was like, why did I take this one? It was so, rubbery. Why you want to call it? It was a little overcooked. Looked very nice, very beautiful. Again, not anyone's fault. It happens. But the point which I'm trying, the product, even if you get it, it's not as per your expectation. Even if it is as per your expectation, you can't take much of it. Huh? How many pieces of pizza you can take? 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. Huh? And भाई आप भी लीजिए and it's not out of your generosity. It's out of यार भैया हो गया. नहीं प्रभु जी आप खाइए, नहीं प्रभु आप भी खाइए. हाँ, we're all offering each other, and after a while it's done. And then so initially Prabhupada said it's bhoga means a tendency that I will enjoy, and then it's tyaga. अब एक हफ्ते तक नो गुलाब जामुन. No gulab jamun, no cake, no pizza, whatever it is. And then after 1 week, the desire again comes. Huh? It happens with everything. It happens. Huh? All of us. Huh? So we have bhoga and then we have tyaga. So we are alternating between two extreme ends, and we are never satisfied. A living entity cannot steadily remain either in sense enjoyment or in renunciation. Change is going on perpetually, and we cannot be happy in either state because of our eternal constitutional position. Because we are looking the right thing, but in the wrong place. We are looking at the right thing. We want pleasure. There's no problem with that. But we are looking at the wrong place. So Srila Prabhupada describes mundane rasa by noting its two qualities, bhoga, tyaga, which is oscillation between enjoyment and renunciation. Neither enjoyment nor renunciation is the natural position of the soul. Therefore, one cannot remain permanently situated in either. One will oscillate between the two, finding satisfaction in neither. And Prabhupada said the second quality of that is chapala sukha, is flickering. Even if you receive it, it goes. Kamal dal jal jivan talman. The happiness sukha of the mundane rasa is always temporary and flickering. Even the greatest material pleasure must end at that. Sometimes you can say, okay, this is all dukkha, and some rich person may say, no, I'm very happy. I have all the enjoyments of the whole world, and I can enjoy it unlimitedly. Okay, even if he's saying right, at the death, it will be taken away. After 30, 40, 50 years, it will be taken away. Even if you are healthy, you're enjoying the best of your capacity, it will be taken away at the death. So it's chapala sukh. So this you can say bhoga, nice bhoga, or extreme another end is tyaga. As Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he has given this paragraph about bhoga and tyaga. I really like it. Someone else can read. Prema Mataji, you can.
The world contains those engaged in bhoga and those engaged in tyaga. However, we will not be happy by following either of these paths because it is not our proper position to either enjoy or renounce. Since everything belongs to Krishna and nothing belongs to anyone else, whatever we possess is actually Krishna's property. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Since we have not produced the trees, plants, waters, or the land, we cannot claim them. Since we actually have nothing, we can renounce nothing, or as it is said, naked we come into this world and naked we go out. In the interim, we falsely claim, this is my country, this is my home, this is my wife, these are my children, this is my property, this is my bank balance, etc. Such claims are false because when we come into the world, we come in empty handed, and when we go out empty handed. What then is meaning of Bhoga and Tyaga? In light of actual facts, they have no actual meaning. Bhoga is thievery and Tyaga, renunciation of what never belonged to us, is a form of lunacy.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone knows the meaning of lunacy? Pagalpan. So if you are doing some tyaga, like if I see a Porsche car in front of my house, I say, मैं इसका त्याग करता हूँ. So, and I may feel great, and some other foolish person may also think that I am great. But the car never belonged to me. Car never belonged to me. I heard a joke in a class. One old couple came out of the shop, and one, this ticket wala, parking ranger person was putting a ticket on the car. And he said, why are you putting ticket on the car? He said, because your park is overparked. And he said, but my lights are not working. Something like he said. And he put another ticket for the light. And then he said, but my tire is bad. And then he put another ticket for the tire. He said, this. He put like 5-6 tickets. And then they happily walked out. And these guys like, how come they are so cool? And they said, this car is not our car. So you understand? So this couple just claim to be claiming that this is my car, but the car does not belong to them. So we may claim different things that it belongs to us, but it does not belong to us, and we become very tyagi. I'm the great renunciate because I have given. Once Hayagriv Prabhu, if I'm not wrong, came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I have given up everything. And Prabhupada looked at him, he said, what belonged to you in the first place? And then he understood the message of Prabhupada. There's nothing belonged to me in the first place. He said, you don't have to give up anything. Prabhupada said, you don't have to give up anything. Just you have to give up your ego. Just give up the ego. That's it. You can have everything, but just give up the ego. It's not mine. I'm not the owner. Krishna is the owner. And you can take care of those things very nice. It can be family. It can be your money. Can be your big position. So Prabhupada said, don't have to give up anything. Just give up your ego. I really like this last line. Bhoga is thievery, So I'm stealing someone's property, it's Krishna's property here. And Tyaga is a lunacy. Now, Radhanath Maharaj gives a beautiful one-liner. I love it. Real renunciation, whether one is a sannyasi, vanaprastha, grahastha, brahmachari, is to use the body, mind, and words. BMW. This is a real BMW, Not that car BMW, BMW is body, mind, and words. And life in the service of Krishna, Vaishnavas, and other living beings. So this is renunciation. So if we really want to renounce, we should have this mentality. Not giving up the house is needed. You can be a grahastha, you can be a vanaprastha or a sannyasi. At the end of the day, the goal of life is not to become a sannyasi or a vanaprasthi, not a Bhakti Shastri teacher, not a president or GBC or anything like that. The goal of life is to become Krishna conscious. My Guru Maharaj used to say, you're not here to become a scholar conscious. You're not trying to become a scholar. You're trying to become Krishna conscious. Very clear goal. Very clear goal. Maharaj is saying the same things. Just put that in the service of Krishna. And then a grahastha can be a greater sannyasi. Can be. So it's not the ashrama which will stop us or which will take us back to Godhead. It may facilitate, it may restrict. It doesn't matter. Radha Govind Maharaj ji said, any sannyasi who is not chanting Hare Krishna will go straight to hell. Radha Govind Maharaj said that. If you're not chanting Hare Krishna, you're not serving Krishna, you'll go straight to hell, although you may be a so-called sannyasi. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not identify himself as any ashrama or any varna. Naham Vipro Nacha Narpatir. So I'm not Brahman, Vaishya, Kshatriya or Shudra. I'm not Grahastha. I'm not a sannyasi. What I am, I'm the servant of Gopi Pad Bhartur Kamalayor Dasan Dasan Das. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. This is our position. Okay, so now Prabhupada, after describing the mundane rasa, describing the bhakti rasa. What is bhakti rasa? Prabhupada writes, bhakti rasa is a mellow different from the ordinary rasa enjoyed by mundane workers. Bhakti rasa, the mellow relish in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, does not finish with the end of life. We can see here Purushottam Dev or Prataparudra serving Lord Jagannath by sweeping the floor. Although he's a king, he's a very, very big king, but he's serving because there's a taste in serving the Lord. And that's why I say in temple, every service is on absolute platform, whether you are a pujari on the altar, whether you are cleaning the bathroom of the temple. They're both on the same platform. Sometimes we are very eager to do camera services, because we are in front of the camera. That sounds very great. If I am cleaning bathroom, who cares? If I'm cutting vegetables or I'm washing the dishes, um, that means we have not understood devotional service. Everything is on absolute platform. Yeah, based on the need, we serve. And sometimes based on our qualifications and skills as well. Our seniors may give some certain sevas more often, but any seva we do, that's on an absolute platform. So we should do any seva with the same dedication, not with a less intensity or a higher intensity, because more people are noting you. Bhakti rasa means we don't strive for possessions outside in the hope they will bring us pleasant emotions, which mundane people do. Rather, we focus on engaging our senses in the service of Krishna, and by this engagement, the original emotions of the soul, they gets awakened. So it's nothing outside we are looking forward to. We are trying to change inside. He said, what's the difference between Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu? Hiranyakashipu was trying to make external arrangements favorable. But what Prahlad was doing, he was trying to make internal arrangements favorable. So many times externals may be needed because we are a beginner at this stage. But if you're only looking forward to externals, then you'll not sustain in bhakti. So eventually we have to work on the internals, like Prahlad consciousness, not Hiranyakashipu consciousness. Srila Prabhupada illustrates the superiority of bhakti rasa over mundane rasa by contrasting the two. Mundane rasa is bhoga tyaga. In contrast, bhakti rasa is the natural position of the soul, and thus one can remain satisfied there perpetually without oscillation. Do you ever feel like, if you like, say, kirtan or katha, anything which you like, when you are in that mode, you just love it. You just love it. I know some people love kirtans here. They want to do more and more and more. They drive 2,000 kilometers just to attend a kirtan seminar, which is very nice. You should. So because they love it. They want to do this more and more. Second, mundane rasa is chapal sukha, like it comes and goes. In contrast, the pleasure of bhakti rasa does not flicker. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is just perfectly happy, satisfied in a jungle where no one is looking at him. And we are not even happy with so many external arrangements. Big house, big car, big position, big titles. We're still not satisfied. Guru Maharaj said, the guides are also hollow inside. They're guiding others, they're the hollow inside. So a bhakta is very fulfilled here inside. He doesn't need thumbs up. What do you call in Facebook? Likes. We don't need 30 likes on my birthday to feel my self-worth. Yes, 30 people love me. A devotee is not looking forward for that. He's just fully satisfied. Okay, now if you come to Srimad Bhagavatam very quickly, so the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, everyone knows that. I'll not read that. Start from Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, where Dhimahi word is used in the last word. Dhimahi means to meditate. So we are meditating on Vasudeva. So Bhagavatam starts from meditation, but in the third verse, Bhagavatam itself uses the word rasa. So I'll just read the last line. Muhur aho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Sorry, third line as well. Pibat bhagavatam rasam alayam. So you're supposed to drink Bhagavatam. Drink Bhagavatam, it's a book. Drink through your ears. Listen, 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 listen. Listen. And it says our ear acts like a cup. And you fill the cup with Bhagavad Katha and drink. Drink with your intelligence, drink with your soul. Muhur aho. Muhur means again and again, not only once. Muhur aho, rasika. And who will relish this? Rasika. It says the cost of gold will only be known by a jeweler or a diamond. Any diamond jewelers here? Except Mahavasu Prabhu, he's a diamond jeweler. Anyway, all devotees are diamond jewelers. they know the real diamond of the world. So you're all diamond jewelers, basically, because you understood the real diamond. Huh? पायो रे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. Ram Ratan Dhan. Ram Nam is the actual Ratan. Every other Ratan is bakwas. Sab bekar hai. Ram Ratan. So whoever loves the Ram Nam, Krishna Nam, Narayan Nam, they are the real diamond jewelers. So Bhagavatam says, Muhur aho rasika bhuvi bhavka. If you become rasika, if you become rasik, then you can taste Bhagavatam. Okay. Amrita. So again, Prabhupada writings, I'm just repeating Prabhupada words, very powerful. Bhakti Rasa continues perpetually and is therefore called Amrita. Amrita means which never dies, that which does not die but exists eternally. This is confirmed in all Vedic literatures. Bhagavad Gita says that a little advancement in Bhakti Rasa can save a devotee from the greatest danger. Who can tell the verse quickly? 5 seconds.
Neha Bitramanasha.
Number?
2.40.
Thank you, Mridula Mata and Jai Dharma Prabhu. That of missing the opportunity for human life, the rasas derived from our feelings in social life, in family life, or in greater family life of altruism, philanthropy, nationalism, socialism, communism, etc., do not guarantee that one's next life will be as a human being. So no matter how big you become in these sort of areas, you cannot guarantee a human birth. Okay, last paragraph. If our body at present is engaged in the activities of Krishna consciousness, then it is guaranteed that we will have at least a human body in our next life. Can anyone say the verse for that? Quickly. Chapter 6, towards the end, Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrasto Abhijayate. So if you are Yoga Bhrasta, if you've done yoga for a long time, you'll take birth in Suchinam, in a rich mercantile family, or a Brahman Vaishnava family. It's written actually in the verses itself. A human being engaged in Krishna consciousness, even if he is unable to complete the course of Bhakti Yoga, takes birth in the higher divisions of human society so that he can automatically further his advancement in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, all bona fide activities in Krishna consciousness are Amrita. Even one name of Ram, Krishna, one bowing down to Krishna, one offering of a flower or fruit to Krishna, one glass of water to God Nitai can save you from the greatest danger or permanent. It says Bhakti, every other account is deletable and depletable, but Bhakti account is the only one is neither deletable nor depletable. Deletable means complete delete button. You delete a file. Complete shift delete, complete delete ho jata hai. Or depletable means you have $100 today, tomorrow you'll have $90 and $80, $70 like that. But Bhakti account always remains $100. That's beautiful, isn't it? You want like that? Khatam hi na ho, abhyay. Bhakti account is the only account. Every account is vyay. No matter how rich you are, it will change. It will change. Bhakti account. No change, no diminution at all. 100%. In account 1, human life 1 in Sydney, Glenfield, account $100. Next life $100. Third life $100. Arey wah. Best account. This is the account we should grow. This is the account we should grow. Never comes down. No one, including Krishna, can delete it. It can be frozen if you make offenses. Guru Maharaj said, if you make offenses to Vaishnavas, it will be frozen. Like if you have 1 million in your account, but it's frozen, you cannot access because, of some criminal court case or whatever it is, right? But it's your money. It's your money. So Krishna can freeze it sometime so that the devotee can come down of his ego and then it will be unfrozen again. So it's your account is undeletable, undepletable. Okay. Final. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The nectarian pleasure derived from devotional service to Krishna is clearly superior to material sense gratification. One may sometimes manage to procure a few drops of sense pleasure, but there is an entire ocean to the nectar of devotion easily available to everyone, always. By understanding the nectar of devotion, one can dive deeply into that ocean. What's the importance of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? Anyone would like to read Bhakti Thakur words here who hasn't read as yet? Yes, Mother, please.
Those who are convinced that the lotus feet of Sri Krishna are the summum bonum of life are the purest of devotees, and they alone are capable of relishing bhakti rasa. Those whose hearts are bereft of bhakti and rampant with mundane emotion, are generally contaminated by impure habits and are fond of logic and argumentation. They can never perceive this transcendental rasa. The person who has transcended the nominal plane and whose consciousness and heart have been enlightened by the brilliance of pure goodness that ushers the dawn of magnificent transcendental bhava is alone able to experience rasa.
Thank you, Mata. This is Jaiv Dharma, chapter 31 by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Next one. I think there are one or two more slides. We'll finish it off quickly.
One cannot.
We
Anyone?
cannot purify ourselves from the desire for self-benefit by any other process than pure bhakti. Karma, jnana, and yoga are all predicated on the assumption of the activity for the purpose of benefiting oneself. Only pure bhakti is the platform of actions performed in the pure loving service without any desire for oneself. One only desire more and more service for the beloved, and Sri Krishna reciprocates this service by arranging more and more facility for the devotees to engage in his transcendental loving service.
Someone else? It's all Bhaktivinoda Thakur words, very, very nice. So I thought we can read.
This process of pure devotional service is the subject of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Although it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is not explained in detail there. But Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu discusses Uttama Bhakti, pure devotional service, more elaborately than any other Vedic literature. Why the Bhakti is devotion inspired by following scriptural rules, whereas Raganuga Bhakti is devotion inspired by lobha or greed. While there is ample explanation of Vaidhi Bhakti, regulated devotional service, in other works, spontaneous devotion, Raganuga Bhakti, and the higher stages of devotional service such as Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti are discussed in detail only in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
And as you can just imagine, there's no other book which describes these things actually in detail except NOD. So we have to understand. So Vaidhi Bhakti, which we are all performing at this stage, is not the goal. It's the beginning, and the goal is Prema Bhakti. So this book will greatly help. Okay. Now the divisions. Okay, let me just quickly say, and then we'll probably stop here. This is the actual beginning of the book, which I'll just say, and then we'll stop here. And the next week we'll start from the divisions of the whole book, what we are covering in different sections. So like an ocean can be divided into 4 parts, which can be southern, northern, eastern, and western parts. So very nicely, Rupa Goswami has divided this book into 4 parts. As you can see, eastern division, southern division, western division, and northern division. So eastern division, I have written the theme of that division and also the chapters included. So eastern division, which we are going to read as a part of Bhakti Shastri, types of bhakti. So it explains the Vaidhi Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. We'll read about that. It covers from introduction to chapter 19. Now, this is the only section which is for Bhakti Shastri. Other 3 sections which we are not covering in this course, in this Bhakti Shastri, which you can read on your own letter. So southern section are there, components of rasa, which is chapter 20 to 34. Then there's western division, primary rasa, which are the 5 rasas, chapter 35 to 44. And northern division is also there, which is secondary rasas, 45 to 51. So just for the information, there are 5 primary rasas, which we all know, and there are 7 secondary rasas. What is the difference between primary and secondary? So primary is the one which is the eternal bhava of a living entity of his relationship with Krishna. Suppose someone is a Dasya Rasa, for example, say Hanumanji, or Krishna's Sakhas, Gwalbals, they are in Sakya Rasa. Now, within that Rasa, there will be some other emotional exchange as well, like for Madhu Mangal. Although he's in Sakya Rasa, but within Sakya, he jokes a lot. There will be Hasya Rasa. Mother Yashoda is in which Rasa? Jaldi. Vatsalya Rasa. But within Vatsalya, there can be Krodh. Today, Krishna broke the pot of yogurt. So Mother Yashoda, at least externally, she's in Krodha. So there can be different exchanges. Bhishma Pitama having these exchanges of Shivaras, Veera Rasa with Krishna. So there are primary rasas, which are the Sthai Bhav. Sthai Bhav means that is the permanent emotion. This living entity exchanges emotions with Krishna, permanent in that. But within that platform, there can be sub-platforms as well. Mother Yashoda can laugh at Krishna when Krishna is holding the tail of the cow, tail of the calf, and the calf runs. And Krishna is not leaving the tail of the calf, and he's running in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and his whole body is smeared with Gomutra and Gobar. And Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, when looks at the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this situation, they just laugh at him. So within Vatsalya, there can be Hasya, there can be other Bhayanak Rasa. When Krishna's Sakha looks Krishna on the Kaliya, they get Vibhas Rasa. Oh my God, what will happen to Krishna? Is Krishna going to die today? They're all in Vibhas Rasa. They are fearful. What will happen to Krishna today? So in that Sakya or Vatsalya, the Vibhas can come in. The Raudra can come in. The Hasya can come in. So they were called secondary rasa. But no one will be in always Krodha with Krishna. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. So there are secondary rasas and primary rasas. Again, we'll not discuss as a part, of course, but you please read on your own, and that will be very nice. Okay, it's 9:00. We'll stop here. Any quick questions or comments? And next week, we'll literally start the book from this section. And Sanjay Vyas Prabhu will cover those things in the Mangalacharan. So everyone understood everything? Hope you liked the introduction. I thought today we'll do some readings because that sets up the mood for this book. This is very, very important, very beautiful book. Okay, I guess no one has anything. So I'll Sundar Gopal Prabhuji, you have
Prabhu,
anything?
I have one question, Prabhu, sorry.
Okay, yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, there are some verses in this, but in this book doesn't have these verses. How do
Yes,
we
yes, I
study
said that
them?
in the beginning. So Prabhupada has not written any verse in
Yeah,
verse
but for
translation.
our
Yeah. So, but he has,
memorization and all is there.
yeah, I'll show you everything.
Okay.
I'll show you everything. Yeah.
No.
So next week probably we'll get to that part. Yes, Sanjay Prabhuji.
Prabhu, another question. I don't know whether the time is there to cover it now. Prabhu, a lot of books written in our Gaudiya history. I mean, as you said, there's the eastern section of the ocean, southern section of the ocean. Then there are some books which talk about waves, eastern wave, southern wave. Then
We'll
there's
get to it.
showers.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, the
You're all
showers
very
of nectar.
curious. Yes, sharks, makaras, aquatics. We'll talk about it. All the questions will be answered hopefully next week. Today was just an introduction of the book itself, and then when we start the book, all things will come, and you will understand all these different terminologies. Very easy, actually. You can take some screenshots as well. I've tried to put all those wordings into some pictures so that it can help us. So I created this simple picture, but I think it's nice. I was also confusing, but yeah, it's very simple. But that's okay. We're all in that same situation. Okay, Sundar Gopal Prabhuji, is there any announcement for us?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, not at this stage. I think for now it's BAU for us.
Okay, BAU. Okay, and next week we'll have the verses, and then we'll start reading there are only 4 verses to remember, and we'll start reading the verses as we were doing for NOI. NOI will reading 10 verses. It's only 4 verses. It will just take 2 minutes or something. Next we'll get to it. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone again.